We're back, and this time we have a super special guest. You guys probably know her in the community as the cosplay queen, right? Current judge of cosplaying, if I am correct, for Flesh and Blood. Uh,
Allegedly,
and
allegedly.
how many Taylors have you won at this point in time?
I've lost count. I've lost count. 5? 6? How many
Enough.
Taylors do I have?
Enough Taylors. Oh my
I
goodness.
don't remember.
All right. Well, today we're
My
talking.
my producer in the background is actually calculating.
Oh my goodness, math.
5.
5 is the answer. So multi-Taylor winning, multi-cosplay contest winning, cosplay judge, and all-around personality in the Flesh and Blood community. We've got Arolina. Welcome to the show. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you so much
on.
for having me.
Yeah. And today's going to be an interesting day because she's going to be making some stuff while we talk. It's going to
Yes,
be
I
fun.
am.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
And you have one right behind you. What's that one?
So this is my current build right now. This is the Arachne Black Widow build that
Oh,
I
sick.
built for spoiler season.
Yeah.
I am currently getting it ready to take to the Calling Memphis.
Oh.
It's really exciting, but I did build it in about 3 weeks. So there are just some small details that I personally don't like. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a baby update. So that's also something that I know I'm really picky about the things that I make. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a baby update. I currently have some of our bracers. I have a camera up here, so you guys should be able to see it soon in post.
Yeah.
Nathan cannot see it currently,
Nope.
but you will be able to see it.
Yeah.
I have currently a bracer right over here. We're just going to give it a little bit of an update. I built this for a photo shoot in about 35 minutes, and
Goodness.
it is very, very, this is the original one, so it's very basic, cut and dry, just a nice little bracer that I could slip on.
Yeah.
Right over here, but, there we go.
I mean, they only give you like 3 weeks notice for those things too, so that's pretty crazy that you built all of that in 3 weeks.
No. So 3 weeks is actually generous. This is the
Yeah.
longest I've had to build a spoiler.
I've gotten like 4 days before,
No, yeah. I think the first time I ever did a cosplay spoiler, they gave me a week, but I was in LA at the time.
Oh.
So by the time I got back from LA, I think I had about 3 days. So that was
Jeez.
really fun. Yeah.
Jeez.
Wait, that was my second one. Yeah. My first one, they gave me a week, and I actually made that in a week. That was Infiltrate.
Oh,
That was
that's
Infiltrate.
actually a sick one too. What's your favorite card you've
Yeah,
done
yeah,
so
yeah.
far? Infiltrate?
Oh, no. I look back at that and I'm so embarrassed. But I think this one was really cool. This one was
Yeah, I
really
like that
cool.
one.
Some people say that this is their favorite one they've ever seen me do.
Yeah.
But personally, it's going to be Gas Up from Bright Lights,
Oh,
because
yeah,
that
yeah.
one, full set, full everything, and that was the one where I had 3 days to make it. I made that happen in 3 days. I had to source a motorcycle myself. I had to find everything, and so that was very, very stress inducing, but I still think it's my favorite shoot I've ever done, ever.
Wow.
And
That's
it's
awesome.
really hard to top getting a motorcycle transported. So,
Yeah, honestly. And
Yeah.
yeah. And with 3 days, that's pretty cool.
No, I had it transported from Oklahoma City, which is about 4.5 hours from me. So I had it driven to me, and then when they got here, I had it driven almost to St. Louis, which is another like 2 hours, an hour and a half maybe. Yeah, so that was a lot.
Do you have a motorcycle license?
No, I didn't. No, I put it in the back of the truck and then hope for the best.
Oh, that's funny. Should have rode it. That would have been fun.
No, I'm pretty sure it had flat tires.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I could not have written it.
So, you've been cosplaying in Flesh and Blood for what, like almost 2 years now? 2 years, I think?
Almost
3
years.
Yeah.
I'd like to say almost 3 years this next May, or this May.
Wow. Is this your first time cosplaying? Was just for Flesh and Blood, or did you do it before?
I have always wanted to. This is like a weird thing. I've always wanted to create art. Just no matter what it was, I've always wanted to create art. I've always found a fascination with cosplay. I always thought I would never be able to.
Hmm.
My grandmother was a costume designer. She's
Wow.
retired now, but she never taught me any of this stuff. She kind of
Yeah.
just never taught me. She's like gay kept it a little bit from me, but you know
Interesting.
what? That's
You
a
know
little bit
what?
of whatever, grandma. But so yeah, she really didn't teach me a lot, but I always grew up watching her. And so I always found a fascination with making costumes, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. I never thought I would ever do it,
Huh.
ever. And I just always found a fascination for making art. And when it became a really big thing on the internet, I always wanted to just give it a go, but I was so intimidated by it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when I started playing Fab, I never really got into it with the sole intention of, oh, I'm going to make cosplay for this game. I
Yeah.
just really enjoyed the aesthetics of it. Hello, Meep.
Hello, cat.
I just really enjoyed the aesthetics of it. But then around Pro Tour New Jersey, that's when like the Taylor thing happened. And I was like, you know what? It's either I don't do it and I still go and I have a lot of FOMO, or I make a cosplay. And so I made
Yeah.
my first costume for Pro Tour New Jersey, and after that I just never stopped after
And which
that.
one was
And
that one?
so
Was that Exude Confidence
I
or
was
something like that?
Exude
Yeah.
Confidence. Yeah.
I think that was my
I was
first ever
Exude
tournament.
Confidence.
I'm pretty sure the first tournament I
Yeah.
went to, and then like the cosplay
Yeah.
contest was going off, and I was like, "Whoa, this is wild."
Yeah, it was a weird kind of thing for me. I grew up in entertainment, so I'm not a stranger to people staring at me.
Yeah,
But
but a room
when
full
you
of
show up
500
at
nerds, you know?
no, you oh, absolutely. You show up at what 9 o'clock in the morning to play
Yeah,
in the calling, and I'm there to play in the calling, but also I'm wearing like fishnet stockings and
yeah,
a high cut bathing suit, essentially. But yeah, so that was an experience.
yeah.
What I
So,
did,
what's your
yeah.
like
So
typical creative process? Like, how do you pick your cosplays? Like which ones like how does that work?
I really go off of just vibes, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Whenever I look at something, if have you ever seen Marie Kondo?
No.
Okay, so Marie Kondo is a lifestyle kind of personality
Hmm.
where she helps you declutter your life.
Oh,
And one of
interesting.
the main things to declutter your life is if it sparks joy, then you keep it. If it doesn't spark joy, then you leave it alone or you throw it away.
It's nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of just how I go when it comes to picking costumes. If it sparks joy, then I make it. If it doesn't spark joy, then I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
I just don't have the drive to make anything if it doesn't spark joy.
Yeah.
And
Makes sense.
so that's kind of where I go. If I look at a card, I am really high on the aesthetics. If a card art is so aesthetically pleasing that it almost moves me in a way, that's when I know it sparks joy. And
Yeah.
so that's when I know that, oh, I need to bring this to life almost. Like
Yeah.
I see
Because
your art, let me make art with your art
Yeah,
almost.
because you haven't really stuck to like one topic. You've done Old Him, you've done Rhinar, you've done Assassin cards,
Yeah.
you've done uh like Bright Lights, you've done a whole bunch of stuff. So
I've never really been one to stick to one aesthetic or one, I'd like to say, class, really. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
like to put myself into a box. I will say I do see myself in the assassin kind of aesthetic. I do feel
yeah,
like I thrive in that class. Although I don't really like playing that class,
yeah.
I do love the aesthetics.
It's
It's
like
so
glamour
weird.
gore.
Oh no, it's literally glamour gore.
Yeah,
But like, I'm not really a fan of the mech aesthetic, but I love the mech class. I love playing that.
yeah,
But I love the assassin aesthetic. I'm probably never going to play that unless it's a sealed calling.
yeah,
But yeah. So yeah, I kind of just keep myself. I like to keep myself on my own toes, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Got to keep it fresh. You know what I mean?
Gotta keep it
Um,
fresh. Gotta keep it going.
so like, what's your process from beginning to end? So you find a piece of art that you really you enjoy. You get the card. Like, how do you start your process?
Well, usually what I do is I look at the art for 2 weeks and I keep staring at it and I keep staring at it and then I forget about it. And then I realize that it's a month before the competition or a month before I need to do something and I realize, yeah, I should probably get on that. And then I don't know, it's just every build is a little bit different. I've started hoarding a lot of fabric, so I just already have things on hand and on deck.
Yeah.
So it's gotten a little bit better. I've gotten a lot better at kind of planning out where I want to go with my projects. I have started just instead of staring at it, I get to work right away. I start
Yeah.
with patterns. I've started making my own patterns actually, which is
That's
a
actually
whole ball game, a whole monster in of itself.
yeah. My
But
wife went to FITM, so she said pattern making was the hardest thing she had to do in that school.
your wife went to Fit?
Yeah, FITM. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
She's big
amazing.
in the fashion world. She loves fashion. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Maybe I'll get her
I
to
love that.
get a class from you. You guys can make a masterpiece. Yeah,
Please.
I'll let her know.
I would love that.
Um,
No,
so, so you kind of envision it. You make your patterns. You're
yeah,
starting to
and
procrastinate a
then
little less.
oh, yeah, I start to procrastinate just a little bit less here and there. Um, my the one thing that really intimidates me is sewing.
Mm.
So whenever don't look at the expensive sewing machine in the background.
Yeah.
But the one thing that really does intimidate me is sewing. So I do like to keep that last,
Mm.
which is the opposite of what I should be doing since it scares me so much. But it usually works out. I feel like I thrive when I do foam smithing.
Yeah.
So I usually do that one first. And it's always different. It doesn't matter how many years I do it or how many costumes in I am, I'm going to do it differently every time.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just I like to keep myself on my toes at all times. There's
You just
not
have.
really one set formula. A lot of people have a set formula.
Yeah.
They do one thing, they start here, they end it the same way. I never end it the same way.
Do you do like
I
drawings
always like
even, or do you
to
just kind of wing it?
not anymore. I used to do some drawings, but one of the main thing that I've kind of caught on to is that I kind of just envision everything in my head and I see what I want. I
Mm.
see it in my head. I keep it in my head. I keep that vision in my head. And I just make sure to try as hard as I can to turn that vision into a real life object.
Yeah.
And that's where I really thrive. I don't feel like a lot of people can do that, but I can, which is weird. But yeah,
Everybody's
I
brain's
usually
a
can
little
just
different, you
see
know?
what I want in my head. Yeah. I
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
can just envision. Yeah, I didn't make because with this big thing right over here, I didn't really pattern a lot of it. That's also something is that I've been making patterns quite a while that I can kind of eyeball if something's gonna fit me. And so
Mm,
I'll just like freehand cut things and sew it all together.
yeah.
Or I could eyeball the size of what's what and the yardage. And it usually just works out most of the time, 80% of the time.
80% of the time it works every time, you know what I mean?
80% of the time. And I feel like that's
Yeah.
a great percentage. Those are great odds.
Yeah, it's like a B, solid for
Exactly.
yeah. So you're like full creative mode, you just kinda you stick your head down, you make a piece, and you're like, "Okay, now I'm gonna make the next one, not sure which one I'm gonna do next." That's rad.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get it.
exactly. I never know where I'm gonna go. I don't start with like the bottom or the top. It's
Yeah,
whatever I feel like I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna start with that. Whichever one sparks joy the most, whatever I'm more excited to make, I'm gonna do that first.
that makes sense. I tend to approach things a little
Mhm.
backwards and reverse sometimes, it's easier, more fun that way.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so what's your now that you've been doing this for so long, 3 years, right? Like,
Mhm.
what's your favorite thing about it now, you know? Um,
Um, it changes. I think the longer I go, it changes. It used to be just the competition and
mhm,
um, testing myself and seeing if oh, am I good enough? I guess that's where I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It became a little bit toxic, so I okay, well, my producer in the back is saying a little bit, a lot of it. It was a little toxic, I will say. But I do feel like nowadays it's just testing my limits and
Mm.
testing where my skills can go and seeing just where my future will be in this, I guess. Seeing
Yeah.
if I have the skills to even do something more with this, I think.
That's awesome. And then I was gonna
Mhm.
ask if there's some challenges. So obviously, a little bit of those challenges might be some toxicity, some
Oh,
conflicts.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
There's
is there any other
I do
ones?
feel like the biggest challenge for me is, more of, like, a mental thing. It's either
Mm.
mental block or a lot of imposter syndrome. A lot of
Yeah,
imposter syndrome is kind of one of my main challenges. I
isn't that crazy how people
and
like I suffer with that really badly, you know? And it's like it's
Mhm.
crazy. You do the same thing for years, you excel at it, you perform really well, and then you go to the next, you do the next one, you're like, why am I, how have I ever done this
Oh,
before?
yeah.
Why have I won? It's weird. It's weird.
I every single time I go to a competition or I am judging a competition, I always have that imposter syndrome just in the back of my mind. Even when
Weird.
I was making this, I every day said, I don't know why I'm making this. Like, I do not have the skill set to make this. I cannot make this. I am not good enough yet to make
Mm.
this. And then I ended up finishing it, and I'm like, why was I ever crying in that corner? I don't know
Oh my god.
why. I don't know why I was crying. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, there's a lot of crying pictures when in the middle of building that.
just got to get it out sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I guess you have some dark sides, but what about your favorite sides? Like, what are the what do you think's your most iconic cosplay? Actually,
Ooh, what is my most iconic cosplay? Oh gosh.
that's a good one.
Um. Okay, so iconic is a big word,
It is, huh?
and a lot of people, if you ask a bunch of different people this question, it will be different every
Yeah,
single time.
it is.
Um, but I personally feel like my best costume would be my gender bent Oldham. It's
Yeah,
just
that one was
probably
pretty
the best
rad.
one ever.
Yeah, that one was rad.
It's so good. I made it in about 3 weeks, but I just locked in so hard that it was probably my best constructed costume. And
Yeah,
the more time I spent throughout the rest of the year of making that costume, I just kept updating it, and it was insane by the end of that. But if you were to ask anybody else, it would be Exude Confidence or Chain,
yeah.
and I'm not personally a fan of either of those.
I actually
So
don't know if I ever saw the chain one, but yeah, okay, I could see it.
that one was I wore that one at World San Jose,
Oh,
and
okay.
I won.
I was
Yeah,
playing the tournament too long, I think.
yeah. I was playing in the tournament, but then they said that there was something wrong with my deck. I don't remember what happened with
Ugh,
it, and I didn't want. What happened? Oh my gosh.
sleeve,
Oh
miscount.
no. They Channel Fireball had a problem. They didn't get my deck. I submitted my deck,
Oh,
and then 2 rounds happened, and then they came up to me and said, "Hey, so we never got your deck submission." And I
yeah.
said, "What do you mean?" I sent it in, and I made sure that it was right 3 times over. And they're like, "Well, we didn't get it, so you're gonna have to redo it." And I was really upset, so I dropped.
Oh my goodness.
I was
Uh,
so upset. I was
it's true though.
so
Like,
upset.
if you get a little triggered in a tournament, man, like you just can't play anymore. It's too hard,
Oh yeah. No,
Mental's
I
really
do feel
important.
like even mental is so important, not even in cosplay, but not just in cosplay, but also in tournament play. I
Yeah.
remember we were at the celebration all together.
Yeah.
I did not do good in that tournament, but
Yeah.
that's because no, I did not do so. I didn't do
Yeah.
good. But
That's
that
okay.
is because I was not in a great mental space,
Yeah.
and I just did not want to be there. And so
Got it.
I kind of just mentally checked out and
Yeah.
then went 0-11.
Oof. Hey, man. At least you
Oh, it
showed
was
up
so
and you kept
funny.
showing up. You know what I mean? A trooper.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
I just kept going, and then I top aided the what was it? The Team Battle Harden. By the way, Team Battle Harden's cut to top 4.
Lame. Yeah.
I know. Oh, it's
um.
so funny.
So we cut. You know, we covered your iconic, most iconic cosplay. But do you have any like special moments that you still kind of reflect on that keep you through like those hard times you were talking about? Like, is it the
Uh,
photo shoots? Is it the conventions? Is it like meeting new people, or what really keeps you going?
I think it's the friendships that I've made.
Yeah.
The friendships, the relationships, it's the people that I've met throughout the year, the good, the bad. I
Yeah.
do feel like even the good keeps you going. I mean,
Mm.
sorry, even the bad keeps you going
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
good. And
Hmm.
so I just don't feel I don't feel like your mental should get in the way of a good thing,
Yeah.
even if you don't feel like you should be doing this or your mind is telling you you're not good enough. I do feel like you should, just personally, keep going because there's always like the grass is always greener on the other side, I guess you could say. And so
Yeah.
I don't, it also could be out of spite. I could just keep living out of spite. That's also that.
Spite's a powerful
Um,
motivator, dude.
spite is very much a powerful motivator.
Yeah.
I love to just keep showing up and making people mad. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Half fueled on love, half fueled on spite, you know? Love it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, that's a
But yeah, no,
special
I've
thing.
I've
I
met
don't know.
amazing people. I've met amazing
Yeah.
people throughout this, and I met my boyfriend through it, which is a weird thing, and uh
Matt, my boy,
yeah. Yeah, Mr. Matthew McGinnis is
Mr.
yeah,
Matthew.
he's here. Yeah, he doesn't
He's
live with me. He's just always here out of convenience. He's right here playing with
hello.
cards.
Hi. I mean, yeah, that's the special thing about Flesh and Blood, honestly. Like the communities, there's always a couple of shitbags in the community, but like I would say that
Who
9 out of 10
cares?
times,
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, everybody here is in it for the right reasons. They're all supportive. They want
Yeah.
to see everybody do well, and
Yeah. I just love the support and I love
yeah,
the
of
people that it's brought me and just I don't feel like I should let the bad things
course.
outweigh the good. And
Yeah.
so that's what kind of keeps me going. That's what keeps me going no matter what. It's not the competitions, it's not the promos, it's not the clout or whatever.
Hmm.
It's the people. I don't
Yeah,
want
for
to
sure.
I don't want to like lose these people. I love these people. And so
Yeah.
that's what I got. Yeah.
I have a lot more friends now that I started playing this game than I did before.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right. So let's shift gears a little bit. One of the I think one of the trends in cosplay tends to be trying to tell a story, right? And as a judge, what are your thoughts on like cosplay performances and skits and like these kind of things that are starting to go on at these conventions?
I personally love skits. I do feel like as the cosplay contest gets more popular or people want to add skits or we get bigger with time, I
Yeah.
do feel like the judging should change or just at least the way that the pacing goes. Not everybody's going to want to skit or going to want to do
Yeah.
this or going to want to do that. So usually in traditional cosplay contests or more bigger cosplay contests, they
Yeah.
do split up the skits and the walk-ons just so it's not as long or
Hmm.
just so it's a fair judging. I do feel like the judging criteria should change just a little bit where it's like best skit and then best costume and craftsmanship.
Ah,
I
sure.
don't feel like I don't feel like they are the same,
Yeah, they're not like
if that makes any
synonymous, you know what I
sense.
mean? Like,
They're not synonymous. They can't
yeah.
you could have an amazing costume and an amazing skit, but best you can't have like best in show should not be the skit. You should not judge your best costume
Yeah.
on what they use as a skit, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And there's also like different
Yeah.
personalities, like some people just
There's so many different
there's
personalities.
actors and then there's like designers, you know what I mean? And I think they're not always the
Yeah, I
same, right?
mean, I'm one to understand characters and getting into character. I'm one for that. I'm not an actor. I'm dramatic, but I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
I couldn't put together a 10-minute walk-on skit, SNL style, where I end up with blood all over my face. Like, I don't. Okay, well, I did that one time, but listen, it doesn't. I couldn't do it on purpose. If
Right.
like I couldn't rehearse it 4 times over and then bring it and then have it be good every time. So I do feel like they should be separated just the tiniest bit, or best skit should be, you know, awarded in a different category.
Yeah. And do you ever like incorporate like the characters you play's backstory into like the thematics, or
Oh,
do you typically?
absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. No, I really enjoy getting into character. I
Hmm.
do enjoy embodying a character. I think it is very important, especially in, when you're going to do a walk on. I don't think that you should be using character work as an extra judging thing, though. I
Got
don't
it.
feel like, I feel like if the craftsmanship is there in a craftsmanship cosplay competition, then you shouldn't judge them on their acting,
Got it. Totally
because
makes sense.
it's a little different.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you're gonna embody a character,
And
you gotta walk the walk a little, like just walk.
walk the walk and talk the talk. Absolutely.
Yeah, get the
Absolutely.
confidence.
Get that confidence, girl.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so what about
Uh,
personal growth, I guess, right? So what kind of things have you gained from your cosplay journey? Like whether it's confidence or has it changed your views on anything? How do you feel like you've
um,
grown over the last 3 years?
that's a lot.
It's a long
Um,
time.
you know, I mean, yeah, 3 years is a long time. I feel like what I have taken away, I do think I have gained a lot of confidence. I used to be very timid. Again, like I grew up in entertainment, but I was still very timid in that, and I didn't feel like I had a voice in any way. And so I do feel like I've grown a bit of a backbone since I started. Not because I wanted to, but because I feel like I had to.
Yeah.
And so that's also something. But I am really grateful for that. I'm grateful to have a bit more of a backbone, I guess. I have a little bit more bite to me, but I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. I don't really hold my tongue as much as I used to. And so that's one thing. I've gained a lot of confidence, not just like ego, but just a lot of confidence in myself. I do feel like I can really do anything as long as I work hard for it.
Yeah.
And that's also something in the last 3 years where I'm not I don't expect things to just happen to me anymore.
Wow,
I
okay.
expect I expect things to happen to me because I work hard for them.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's something that honestly cosplay has helped me learn over the past 2.5, 3 years, is that if you want something, you need to work hard for it. That's
Sure.
not in my adolescence or in my early 20s. I'm in my still early 20s. I'm 24,
I'm an old man.
but in my before 21s, I expected things to just be handed to me. And so yeah, I feel like that's kind of where I've really grown. I don't expect things to just be given to me. I need to work hard for them, and I'm really grateful for that. I feel like it's a wake up call that doesn't really happen in your early 20s, and so I'm grateful that it's happened a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the main takeaway from a lot of these things.
That's pretty, you had some profound sentences in there, you know what I mean? Look at you, a little
Yeah.
20-year-old with your profoundness.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. And I have some we'll get into some final questions before we jump into the community questions, which I'm sure are going to be wonderful, and I'm not going to have to
Oh,
filter any
people
of them.
ask me questions? Oh
Yeah, it's
god.
going to be,
Oh
we'll
god.
cut out 90% of what they ask most likely.
It's all
All
about
right.
feet and
Yeah, yep.
bathwater. Oh
Yep.
god.
It'll be super cool. What advice do you have for people who want to get started in cosplay?
Gosh. Don't put all of your don't put all of your cosplay supplies on a credit card. Don't charge it to your credit card. That was a bad idea. Pay off your credit card. Don't buy the $1,500 sewing machine off the bat.
Yeah.
Buy the $200 one, and then once you get better, you can buy the $3,000 one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But also don't let other people's opinions of you get in the way of wanting to start.
Yeah.
I would have started cosplay when I was in my teens if I didn't care
Mm.
about what other people thought of me.
Yeah.
I didn't start cosplaying for a long time because I didn't know what people were going to think of me. I just thought everyone was looking at me and everyone was staring at me in the worst way, and a little bit,
Yeah.
growing up in like such a tight knit community, and my family is very like, I'm Mexican, and so
Yeah.
your family is always kind of like looking at you very, very with judgmental eyes almost. And so
Yep.
I was just very scared of what my family was going to think, or what anybody else in like close knit was going to think. And I think after a while, I just stopped caring and realized it's actually not that bad. Just
No.
do what
Yeah.
you want, do what makes you happy. Just give it a try. If you feel an urge, if you feel like you want to cosplay, then do it. Just give it a try.
Just give it a shot, you know?
Just give it a
Yeah.
shot.
Just give it a shot. Do you have any tips and tips and tricks like is there any early purchases that you should have made, or is there like a really simple way to jump into the game? You know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah.
so this Okay, so there's this thing called contact cement.
Mm.
And you can only get the EVA foam together with the contact cement. They come in these big jars
Yeah.
or these small jars. You can't get contact cement out of carpet. Okay? This is a squeezy bottle that we just bought because I've already lost it. This is a squeezy bottle. It keeps your contact cement contained in small doses, and you cover
Oh.
it up so it doesn't get dry.
Yeah.
And whenever you're working on something and you knock it over, it doesn't go all over the floor
Nice.
anymore. I have 4 spots of contact cement just stained on my carpet. I don't rent. So
Oh
that's
goodness.
fine.
Nice. Nice.
But if you rent, God, get the squeegee bottle.
Dude. I actually built my first ever little minis, like the Warhammer minis, just because I wanted to
Yeah.
paint something. And my wife had just bought a brand new table, and I was doing the
Oh
gluing on the
no.
table, and I put the little cement glue just like you did, and I like put my little figurines
Uh-huh.
all over the table. I was all proud because they looked cute, you know. And then
Uh-huh.
I picked them up, and the table's glued and ruined. And
Mhm.
I
Yep.
still, yeah,
Yeah,
that was
so I
not a good
got
day for me.
I got some of the glue on the kitchen floor,
Yeah.
and I think it took me about a year to get that glue off.
Oh yeah.
About a year, scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. I finally got it out, but
Do you have a
it took
secret
about
to
a year.
remove it? Because I need it right now. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
no. No.
It's just
No,
screwed.
there's no secret. I'm so
Oh,
sorry. You're screwed, actually. Get
she's
the squeegee
still
bottle.
she's still beating me up over that one. My bad. My
Oh,
bad.
I'm sure she is.
Yeah. Okay. And then so you've done a lot of them so far. Do you have a dream cosplay? Because I have a dream cosplay. Like if I was gonna do it one time, I want to do one of those like
Mhm.
9 feet tall Warhammer style ones, but
Oh, those
I want
giant
it to be
ones?
swing big.
Yeah.
I just want to be a gigantic
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
brute and
I
just
think
walk.
we could make that work.
I
I
would
think we
love
can make that
to.
work. You need to start practicing on
Stilts or
what are they? The
something.
painter stilts? The
Yeah.
painter stilts, though.
Mm-hmm.
Painter stilts, go small, start on some painter stilts, and then slowly get over to some bigger stilts. And then you could kind of go above that. My dream costume right now is actually not fab related.
Oh,
It's actually Marvel Rivals related,
which
and
one?
it is okay. Listen, it's
Is it?
Eldritch Magic skin.
Of
It's the
course it
Eldritch
is, dude.
Magic skin. Well, listen, it's huge. It's
That
cool.
is rad. It is rad.
She's blonde.
Yes, that animation too at the end, so rad. Actually,
Oh, it's so cool. It's
such a good
so
one.
cool. I'm obsessed with it.
Do you play Marvel
I'm
Rivals?
obsessed with it. I started and then I
No.
can't because my internet is so bad.
Oh
So
yeah.
I need to
Okay.
get better internet.
Gonna need to do a
I started and
GoFundMe to
then I
get
was
you
like,
some
wow,
fiber.
why is no literally I was like, oh like I live out in the country, so
Yeah.
I have the worst internet in the world and every Wi-Fi place or every fiber internet
Yeah.
company wants to gouge me and charge me like $2,000. And so, yeah, I'm getting, I think, Starlink soon, which should
Help.
fix everything. So,
Help. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And are you
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
where are you gonna rock that cosplay at? Do you? I was gonna ask. Like, do
Oh, at my
you are?
house.
Do you have
Oh, at my
any? Do
house.
you have any like aspirations to go beyond Fab? Like into I don't know. Comic Con's
I
kind of like a big one, but like
You know,
any
I've been
other?
thinking about it. I have been highly thinking about it. I Over the last few months, I'm like, I should probably go to like other conventions and compete in these bigger ones that
Yeah.
I don't know, the ones that kind of send you all over the world. And they're called,
Yeah.
what is it? World Cosplay Summit.
Hmm.
World Cosplay Summit is something that I kind of want to try out for, but I don't personally think I'm there yet. These
Mm,
competitors are
wild.
insane. These professional cosplayers are insane.
Mm,
They are something I really want to like that I aspire to be like. I don't even know how they do it. I don't know how they put these things together and then take them apart. I don't understand how they take them apart. I don't understand how they make them
yeah.
compact enough to travel with, but they do.
Yeah. It's
I
an
do
interesting one.
really, yeah, I do really want to kind of get into a more traditional cosplay and maybe branch myself out of fab just a little bit this year.
Hmm.
Not that much. I really do enjoy fab art. That is one thing, is that again, things that spark joy. I don't really see a lot of different things outside of fab that they don't really spark joy for me. I'm not really like an anime cosplayer.
Yeah.
I enjoy the Marvel Rivals aesthetic, but also that's kind of just like on the back burner right now, just
Yeah.
because again, there are other things that spark more joy right now, like this
Mm.
one.
Like this one.
Like this one. But yeah, so I have a few more fab cosplays coming before I could even think about starting that one, but that one's definitely like my number one that
Yeah.
I want to go to. And I really want to start making just regular clothes. I think
Oh.
the more that the more that I do this, the more that I realize I really enjoy making clothes. And I think my main goal, just like number one goal, is just to make a brand out of something, I guess.
Yeah.
And
That's
or
the
just
dream, right?
make clothes. I really do love designing clothes. And so I think that's what I really want to do in the end goal, kind of.
Yeah. So
Yeah, just more ready to wear.
yeah, like, are you gonna get like that? Yeah, that's kind of rad. I mean, you might as well take these skills and make your little empire. You know what I mean?
Might as well.
You got to break away from the man. You know what I mean? I'm so tired of working for the corporate machine. You know?
That's yeah. I just want to work for myself. That's like my main takeaway
Yeah.
from all of this. I love
Yeah.
working for myself.
Okay. I think we could jump into a couple community questions, but I'm gonna have to filter these pretty heavily. So let's.
No, do not filter them.
No,
No,
just
please.
kidding.
I want to hear what these people say.
No, dude. Everybody in my Discord knows better, dude. They would never. They would never. I promise you, they would never.
Damn, they're not funny.
No, no. If I would have put it, I thought about putting it on Blue Sky and Twitter, but I'm sure that would have been lovely.
That's when my people, they just keep saying the c word.
Yep, it would have just been yeah. So I did get a question. So for people who've never cosplayed before, we kind of touched on this one, but for people who've never
Hmm.
cosplayed before, how did you get into it? But I guess the main question here is, what is a good starter project? And then what was your first ever cosplay?
Well, my first ever cosplay.
Was it you?
Well, actually,
Yeah, yeah,
not really. Actually, for
yeah.
a Halloween costume, I made a what was it? It was a Mortal Kombat 2 katana costume.
That's sick.
Mhm. Yeah, I threw my own Halloween party, me and my brother, and so I decided, well, if I'm throwing my own Halloween party and I'm spending all this money, I might as well jump the gun and make my own costume. And so I made Mortal Kombat 2 katana costume.
That's rad, actually. That's rad.
Yeah.
How did I guess
I think it was Mortal Kombat 2.
And then the next question is is how'd you get into Fab?
That's very that's a loaded question. No, okay. So this is not okay, hold on. We need to pause for 5 seconds.
Yep.
I need to get my thoughts together and
Yep.
figure out how to go through this without starting drama. Pause. Okay. I'm not talking my shit. How did I get into Fab? So, I again, it's been 3 years. It's been about 3, almost 4 years since I started playing Fab, and in 3, 4 years, you change. And
Mhm.
so 3, 4 years ago, I was associating myself with other people at the time,
Mm.
and the people that I was associating myself with, they introduced me to Fab, and they're like, "Hey, there's this new game coming out," or this new game that's already out. It's almost
Mhm.
like coming out of COVID times, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Do you want to get into this game? You want to play this game with me?" And I was like, "I would love to. I would love to play this game." I'm very competitive. Okay. I
Nice.
can't play board games with my family. And
Same.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't play board games with my family. But you know what? This little kind of competitive card game, I would love to play it. I'm not going to get toxic at all. And so I started going to armories and I loved it. I loved playing this game. I loved the play style of it. The one thing that does take it away, like the one thing that really intrigued me, whenever I was growing up, I loved fighting games. I
Yeah.
loved fighting games. And so I never really saw myself playing Magic the Gathering or any
Same.
other trading card game ever. But this one really did remind me of a fighting game. And so I was like, you know what? I really enjoy this. I really do enjoy the play style. Not the greatest because, I've never played a trading card game ever in my life. But I enjoy it. So I'm going to keep going. And
Yeah.
then I never stopped after that.
That's crazy.
And yeah, it's crazy. But also, the person that got me into Fab no longer plays Fab anymore
Oh.
or trading card games at all. But I'm still here. I pressed on.
There you go.
I lived.
There you go. Yeah, I have the exact same
Yeah.
story. Never played trading card games before, like fighting games, played Fab, and I was like, this is like Tekken. You know,
Mhm.
it's kind of like Tekken
It
a little bit.
literally,
Yeah, it's almost exactly the same.
literally.
That's so interesting. Who's your favorite
Yeah.
hero? Or do you have like a class or like who do you simp
Uh,
to?
so it used to be Dash for at least 2 years,
Okay.
and then about starting this year, it's been Guardian. I love Guardian.
Disgusting, dude.
Love Guardian. I know, especially because I was a mechanologist main for the longest time.
Absolutely horrible.
I know, but
Which
I
one is it
love
right now? Is
Victor.
it
It's
Jar?
just
Is it Jarl or is it
Victor.
Victor? Oh, it's
No, it's
Victor.
Victor. It's
Ugh.
still Victor. It's
Oh
still
yeah.
Victor. I love
Okay.
it. I love it.
Huh.
I just cannot get enough of him. Cannot get enough of that horse.
You gotta bling out your Victor deck. Tell Matt.
I gotta bling out my Victor. I'm
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I
Yeah.
don't want to bling out my Guardian deck. I actually don't think it's that good.
Well, I mean that's interesting. From mechanologist to guardian, huh? I mean,
I know it's so problematic.
kind of is. Kind of
I
is.
know
Um,
it's so disappointing.
yeah. Wow. I'm so sad. You should be a brute player, to be
I know.
honest. It's just like you cosplayed as Reiner once, why? Just
I did. It was really funny.
it was very green. I
It
was
was
very
so
shocked.
green.
I was very
I
shocked.
had to do it because people kept asking me to do it, and so I was like, "Okay, well, I did it. Can you shut up now?" And then they never shut up about it.
Yeah, dude,
That's
brute players
insane.
are
They
like the
want me to paint myself
loudest.
green again.
Yeah, we're the loudest, dumbest group of fab players. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Especially,
But-
I'm going to the gym more often now, and so like I'm gaining more like top muscles, and they're like, "Okay, well, now paint yourself green again." And I'm like, "No, I'm maybe."
Get shredded and the B Reinar again, please.
No, literally,
Please.
literally.
Oh, that's so weird. Uh,
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, your
but
top shelf has muscles now. Let's re-up this.
let's do
Come
it.
on, put the
I
green
mean,
back
that's my
on."
dream, right? I'm gonna get absolutely shredded by the end of this year, and then I'll be Reinar.
Yeah.
We can both be brutes. It'll be
My
fun.
main goal is to get like ripped,
Oh
ripped,
yeah.
and then do Volta. Like I'm
Oh, that
waiting
would
for
be
adult Volta to come
rad.
out. I am so excited. I'm
That
gonna
would be
have
so
like
sick.
rock hard thighs, and then adult Valda comes out, and I'm like, well, I'm ready.
Ready.
I'm
We're
ready.
here.
I was
Yeah.
born for this.
You're not like 6.5 feet tall, but you know, like whatever.
It's fine. She looks 5'2" in the young art.
That's fair. Yeah, you could be. Yeah, I love it. So do you want to end on anything? Like what should we how can we support you? You know what I mean? What can we do to support you?
Be nice to me at
Socials.
conventions.
Okay. Just
Be nice to me.
just be
Just
nice
be
to me,
nice to
please.
me.
Be nice.
Please. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter or X, sorry. You can find me on X at bitchyvalor or on Blue Sky at bitchyvalor.bluesky.social, but it might be changing to carolinaalvarado.net. I have the thing. I just haven't changed it. I'm a lazy.
Oh, you know,
But yeah.
I didn't realize I forgot I could do that on Blue Sky is so confusing to me.
So essentially what happens, you can change your own
domain, right? Yeah.
server to do your own domain, and then you keep all of your information on that domain so they don't have it. You host all of your information.
Yeah, it's like decentralized, right? But I just don't understand how like the algorithm works yet on Blue Sky, because like
I don't either.
It's like sometimes I'll throw something out and it just goes into a void of nothing, and then like every once in a while, like it's not like Twitter where like you open it, or X where you open it up and it's kind of like it has this assumption. Like I feel like you have to go hunting for content on Blue Sky. Like even people I'm subscribed to don't necessarily meet my front page, and I miss some big posts sometimes. I don't know. I don't understand how it works really.
I don't understand it either. The first day I was on there, I made we call it bloots, not posts, bloots. I made bloot, like a Blue Sky tweet, like a tweet, but it's Blue Sky, so it's a bloot.
A bloot.
You got me. Yeah, a bloot. Who came up with that? Frank Hung, the lazy dog. He came up with that, and so I just never stopped saying that. Shout out Frank Hung. But I made a bloot about like, what was it? It was liking Yuri. It was about liking Yuri. Do you know what Yuri is, Nathan?
No. Maybe. If it is what I think it is, then yes, I do know what it is.
Do you know what yaoi is, Nathan?
That one I'm not sure on. Let me.
Okay,
is this Google?
so it's like.
Am I Googling this right now?
And I can explain it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, you do it while I search. Wow, I'm not sure if I like this.
It's a love story about two women that love each other so much and get married at the end. Sometimes they don't get married. Sometimes they break up. That's, doomed. Sometimes they're doomed. But yeah, I just made a tweet about that one time and it blew up. No, not a tweet, a bloot. I blooted about that one time and it blew up.
So you're getting your internet clout from interesting anime subtypes.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you sure you don't want to do anime cosplay?
No, I'm good.
Your community might want it now. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. I'm good though.
All right. Well, go follow her on Blue Sky. Go follow her on Twitter. Follow everything she does. Whenever she posts an inappropriate anime topic, make sure to repost that one.
Make sure to rebloot it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's it, Carolina.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, I'm really excited. Thank you so much for this. Bye.
It was fun. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish this, and then I will have it sped up on here so it finishes on the video.
I can do that all. Okay. No worries.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is I'm going to keep recording it. So
yeah. You can send me the raw file and I'll compress it and do all the editing and the speeding and all that. No worries.
Okay.